Very good morning to everyone. I'm Lee Yoke San again. Thank you for the introduction. So today I would like to first extend my gratitude to Trade Pass and also MDEC to invite Plan Malaysia to this esteemed event. So today I'm going to share the topic as shown, streamlining data center approval processes, a guide to efficient operation. Oops. So, okay, let me share a little bit about, as an urban planner, how we actually, the role that we play in this data center development. So we can see actually data center can be a catalyst for change in our city evolution. So let's picture this. Data center is not just a big box in the city with blinking lights. For us, urban planner, there are so much more. They are the engine of innovation, sparking new ideas and opportunities. They are vital for our digital future, creating jobs and boosting economic growth. That's why we urban planner, actually we want to work hard to ensure that data center can be well connect and seamlessly integrate in our city surroundings. Besides this one, data center also have the power to reshape our urban environment. They are not just ordinary building that you can see, because some of the data center, they have very good design that can redefine the fabric of a city. And then we urban planner also play the important roles to ensure that the data center design can be harmonized with the urban surrounding. And as we aware, data center development require a lot of land, water, resources. So which this actually could otherwise be used for housing, industry, or agriculture. So that's where urban planner need to step in to draft regulation to strike a balance between data center development and our country sustainability goals. So it's all about we can embrace the technology that we need, and at the same time we need to respect the environment and also for the future generation. Okay, for this slide, I just want to show a little bit background of the data center that we have in Malaysia. I understand there are some participants actually from overseas. Just now I saw someone from Australia. So at the moment, there are 51 data center in Malaysia, including Sarawak. So you can see from this map, 32 already operate and 19 is under construction. So as the red dot is a lot, many concentrate at the Cyberjaya area due to its multi-super corridor status, right? And the infrastructure is ever ready for the data center to be developed in that particular area. And we can see here, Johor is the region that catching up because of its strategic location near to Singapore. And this is some of the national policy that government uphold to make sure the digital infrastructure actually can give impact to overall data center development. This include our Malaysia plan, 12 Malaysia plan, and then Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint by MDEC, and also the Smart City Framework. This is the framework that published by Ministry of Housing as a main guideline to encourage the development of smart city. And then we also refer to the new industry master plan. All this emphasize the importance of data center as a digital infrastructure to support our country digital economy. And then I touch a little bit on the economic prospect of the data center. As you see, the figure is big, and this kind of investment are very significant and give a big impact to our spatial development in our country. And a lot of people claim that actually the misconception of data center actually create less job because they only need a few manpower to operate for the data center. It's just mainly a warehouse of data, right? But according to the economic impact study by a very global service provider, they said from their study, actually from the speed over, there will be 400 to 600 jobs created for every 1 billion ringgit of investment. So I will touch a little bit on the key laws that are involved in the data center development. This one is more to the physical planning of a data center development. The first one will be the Town and Country Planning Act. This act is actually the provision to make my Department of Town and Country Planning Act to be function for land use development and policy for the approval, and also outline the procedure for land use planning, development control, and approving processes with for various type of development within the state and local authority provision. And then next, you have the National Land Code. Of course, anything data center want to develop, you have to make sure that your land condition is compliant to what being approved by the under the National Land Code. Your land title have to be same with what you need to build. And then next, we have the Local Authority Act. This one is mainly regarding to the building bylaw, the design of your building, the code, the heights, and everything. And then the Environmental Quality Acts about the environmental impact the data center creates. So you need to have some mitigation measure for this development. And then last is the Telecommunication Act. And then we also at the same time have some guidelines from MIDA, MDEC, MCMC, and DNB. So all this will be the base for the reference of when we preparing our guideline, we will refer to all these act and also others agency guideline. So I would like to touch a little bit on the challenges in the approving process. So to understand the challenging approval process in the data center development, Plan Malaysia together with, we have the branch in Johor, together with our colleague in Johor, we have done a few rounds of engagement with all these major industry players, including local and foreign data center developer and service provider, some of the lead agency like MDEC, MIDA, MITI, also TNB, SPAN, JKT, and also the service provider, and some of the local authority that have already experience in approving the data center application. So from here, we can find out that there are some challenges. First is the lack of familiarity with data center. Many local authority have lack familiarity of what is data center operation is all about. So this actually will give some challenges for them to understand the operation, and then will maybe delay the process. So the education gap between the data center developer and local authority need to improve. So like event today is a very good platform for the government to understand more about the data center operation. Number two is undefined zoning regulation. As you know, all the development need to be compliant to the zoning in a local plan. So the local plan is a plan that decided what can you do. If you own a land, you cannot simply do anything on that land. You need to be compliant to the zoning. Let's say a housing, industry, or commercial zone. So what kind of building that allowed in that commercial zone? Let's say for residential housing zone, we don't allow data center, or we don't allow a big shopping mall suddenly appear in your housing, next to your housing estate. So most of the local plan in local authority, their local plan don't have a specific terms for data center. They don't have. So when the data center application come, they have this difficulty to put where is the allowable land use to be put for data center. So town planner will have to take challenges also, because some of the data center layout, they are big, there are a lot of phases that the development phase may be 10, 20 years. So their layout will be complicated for a local authority to process. And this may need special requirement and regulation. Next is the environmental concern. So of course, data center have their impact. So this one is one of the challenges also. And then the last one is the community opposition. If the data center actually using the resources that actually for, let's say, the electricity or the water resources that actually are given to the housing needs or commercial needs. So this is the planning guideline that we already produced. So at the moment, this guideline already present and approved at the ministry level. And next we will be going for the memorandum to the cabinet to get the approval. When this guideline really get approval, that will be rolled out to all the state and local authorities. So we hope that in the very near future, this will help the local authority to facilitate the application for data center. So it's actually main reference for all the stakeholders as shown here. And then the scope of the guideline mainly we cover two areas. One is about the site planning aspect. The other one is the application and approval procedure. So it's split into the general guideline and specific guideline. For data center that can be built in the green field, we call it the new area, and data center that can be built in the brown field, the existing buildings. So for the application, it's divided to two process. One is for the data center in new area. The other one is a data center for the existing building. In this guideline also, when we have the fruitful discussion with our stakeholder, as town planner, we always think about the size. How big is it? How many land that you're using? But from the discussion with the stakeholder, we found out that size doesn't matter. How much land to use also not so much. The one who actually define the category of data center, what type of data center is actually the power. So we categorize here data center to be small data center using the power capacity of 1 to 5 megawatt, and then under the capacity of 11 kilowatt. Like the one in TNB is actually less than 4 megawatt. The medium one, 5 to 25 MVA, and the big one, more than 25 MVA. This is the data center that we allow to build in the new area at the greenfield. And the other one for the existing building, basically we don't put it category because if you use the existing repurpose the building, is actually just to adaptation to what you need according to the specification that a data center needs. All right, for the general guideline, there will be 4 key aspects we would like to cover. First is the location. So I understand actually for due diligence for data center development, they have to cover more. But for local authority, this is the basic for a local authority to look at when they want to process the planning approval. We call it the KM, Keperluan Merancang application. So when it comes to location, accessibility is always the key. We talk about being near to the main infrastructure, utility, clear from the disaster zone, environmental friendly, sensitive zone, pit swamp, and high risk. And for electricity, water, and internet, we just put there as a guideline, but actually the developer or the data center service provider, you need to discuss with TNB, with water state authority, and also the service provider to make sure the size of your data center actually is enough power, water for your data center. So this is the one I want to go a little bit detailed. So this is a specific one. So for this category, for new area that allowed to build data center, first for your land category and condition, you need to make sure that your building and industry land in your land title have the express condition, the syarat nyata, that have similar things for data center. If not, you need to refer to this JKPDG circular bill, land use procedure for building and industry category for purpose other than the building and industry category on the condition. So you need to check your land title, the express condition for that. And then the second one is the permitted land use zone. So for data center, it's actually allowed in, as long as in your local plan, Gazette local plan, stated there commercial zone or industry zone, data center is allowed to build. For example, in Sepang, Sepang, their local plan, under the commercial zone, they have this specific enterprise zone, which specifically put data center as one of the U-class order allowed to be built in enterprise zone. So under Sepang, those data center that you can see is actually under the enterprise zone that they already put there allowed for data center. So this is very important so that if we put that in the local plan, specifically, the planner or the local authority, when they process the application, is more easy for them to facilitate your application. And all type of data center is allowed, just now the small, medium, and the big one. And then for the plot ratio, the print area, the plot ratio meaning that how tall and how big is your building allowed in your plot. If you have a lot of land, you cannot build your house or your building up to the up to the lot. You need to have some setback, you need to have certain height control. All this have been spelled out in the related gazetted development plan, meaning the local plan. And also will be regulated by the uniform bylaw under the Local Government Act just now. And then for open space requirement is a national requirement under our planning guideline also. All the development need to have 10% of open space reserve. So for a master plan, a new area to develop, you need to reserve 10%. If you already have this approved master plan, means the big plan already approved, you need to develop a small data center in a big master plan, then your reserve of the open space is 5%. And then for utility reserve is quite a standard one, 1.5 meter left and right of the both side. And then this parking requirement is something that we have a lot of discussion because before that, some data center developer, not to say complain, but they are, because for local authority, they need to calculate the requirement parking according to the guideline. So they don't know what is data center. Data center never appear in the local plan. So they treat this data center as shopping mall. You know shopping mall, how many thousand of car park you need to prepare? So with this discussion and this guideline, actually we said that the parking requirement only for the office area. So those, let's say you got 100,000 square feet for your data center and only 5,000 is your office space. So your calculate for the office space is based on one car park per 500 square feet plus 10% visitor. Let's say you got 10 car park, then another 10% is 10 plus 1, 11 car park. So only for those areas that you have workers and you have visitor to use. So the car park is for that purpose. Motorcycle parking, 20% of the overall car park. And then you need to prepare minimum 1 loading bay and 1 for OKU, disabled person. As for buffer zone, if let's say your lot so coincident next to very near to a residential area, we also don't want to get the disturbance from the data center. So we put here a 50-meter buffer zone should be provided between your data center development and the residential area. But if you can prove that the noise level is 5%, not more than 5 decibel from the original noise, then maybe there's no need for the buffer zone to be prepared. Okay? And then for development application, the method 1A, 1B, 1C, basically under the local plan, they have this called one-stop center system. All your application, including your renovation plan of your house, a developer want to build a big housing scheme, a developer want to build a shopping complex, anything, you need to go through this one-stop center OSC Trade Plus system. So this is an existing system. 99 days is for the approval of your Kebetulan Merancang, your planning approval, building plan, and then your engineering plan as well. So the first one is basically for the big master plan that you already want to go for. The 1B is actually for those industry green land. This industry green land is a new initiative that just launched January by our minister early this year. This initiative actually want to express more for those investment under this industry zone. So if your site is under approved master plan of the industry area, then you can go for this industry green lane. You have to discuss with the local authority. You need to have a meeting with the mayor. And then the benefit if you go for this IGL is, number one, you can start your earthwork earlier than your normal procedure. Number two, if your building is 80% complete, you can apply for your business permit. Traditional way under the OSC normal way, you need to finish your whole building 100%. Then you apply for your CCC. Only your CCC approved, then you apply for your business permit. So this will stagger, take time, right? So under this IGL, 80% complete, you start to apply. When you're 100% complete, you can get your CCC within 24 hours. And then straight away, you can get your business permit and you can start. And we have some successful story also from Kulim, from Seberang Pride, and also from Kulai using this approach. And then the method C is actually a prerequisite to cut the red tape and create more transparency for the pre-consultation process. Like, you no need to see the technical agency face to face physically. Everything will be put in a system. There will be a module for this one in the OSC. So everything will be transparent for the technical agency and also for the principal submitting person, your consultant, to see what next, what to do. So for existing building, basically the land category permitted zone will be the same. But we only allow small and medium data center to be developed in the brownfield, because existing building, we don't want to have the hyperscale, big scale data center in our city center or commercial zone. So car park, like what I said just now. But for the buffer zone, it's case by case. If the building already there and you want to use that building as your data center to repurpose it as a data center, so it's case by case basis with the discussion with the local authority for the buffer zone, whether it's need or not. If you have like if your site is next to a root reserve, the root reserve can be your buffer zone as well. And then for environment, and then you need to prepare a reputation report to ensure that there's no disturbance to the neighboring buildings. And other technical condition is that building, you must have CCC already, and you have your building approval, you have your KM, your planning approval already on hand for that building. And anything, electricity or water usage is more than the original one, then maybe you need to consult the TNB. Not maybe, you should consult the TNB and also the water and also the bomber for the safety purpose. So, and this is the flowchart. I won't go detail, but it's actually on the OSC online. This document, you can get it. If you type OSC Trade Plus online now, you can download this document from the website. So this is just the flowchart. And then I think with that, I would like to conclude that we from the government, actually we can't do everything alone. So we need everyone on board, means state, local authority, industry player, also the community group, everyone coming together to make sure these guidelines are not just adopted but embraced. We hope this guideline can be a roadmap to a brighter future for the data center industry. With everyone's commitment, we can make sure the future is more sustainable and responsible and full of opportunity of growth. With that, I end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lee Yoke San.